Hey mates, how are we doing? Here's a part 2 video over at the Blowing Rocks Preserve. This is known as the Dunes Trail, where you have a chance to see some abundant sea grapes that form these very tunnels. If you can't say that it's mesmerizing, then I don't know what is. But this is really neat. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Stump Pass Beach State Park. This is kind of like the equivalent, but this forms more of a tunnel more than anything. So it's at this trail where you really have a chance to see that dune strand that I was talking about, that forms that transition between the tropical hardwood hammocks and, of course, the dunes. So it's these very plants that, take the brunt of the wind as well as the salt spray. So it's quite fascinating. Like, just standing right here, I can hardly even feel the wind. But unlike once you pass all of these sea grapes, it's a whole different story. Then it's a lot more windy. But yeah, it's just 1/3 of a mile long, so it's pretty short. But yeah, this is quite of a sight. But yes, sea grapes. They're always well known for their large, round leaves. And what's actually fascinating is, back in the early 1900s, the leaves, once they dried up, they would actually be used as postcards, for those who were staying down here and wanted to write to relatives who were still living up north. So, and I believe you can actually still do it if you want as well. Just as long as, of course, there's a stamp and a written address. Oh wow, look at that, homie. See that? I'll have to clarify, because I know it has a particular name, but I just can't think of it right off the top of my head right now. But they are indeed a native species of spider found down here in Florida. You probably figure it's at least it's probably about 3 inches, in length. So try to get past this little homie. There we go. And actually, what's amazing too about spiders in general, just the silk that they create. If you were to actually combine all the strands into one big cluster, it's actually stronger than even steel. There's another one. Jeez, they're almost everywhere. My goodness. That's just it with these tunnels. It makes it so easy. Here you go. There's a view of the Atlantic for you guys. Oh, here you go. Here it talks a bit about the dunes and what types of conditions you can expect. Always the most important thing to note, if you're ever exploring an ecosystem like this, please stay on the marked trails as much as you can. Just because, since this is a constantly changing landscape, we want to try reducing the amount of erosion that occurs. So if we were just to basically walk wherever we wanted to, we would only speed up the natural process of erosion. So, we gotta do our best as fellow stewards to follow that narrative. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even want to get off the trail anyways, because you already have an amazing view. Got some Dune sunflower. This is most likely the East Coast variety. What's actually fascinating is in Florida, they also have a Gulf Coast variety. So ideally, you don't want to mix the both of them together. There you go. This talks about sea turtles. We actually are approaching closer to the end of sea turtle hatching season, as it is starting to get towards the end of September, going into October. And actually, as a matter of fact, along the Atlantic coast, you can actually find 5 of the 7 sea turtles. They include leatherback, green. Yeah, I think it is leatherback. Yes. Green, loggerhead, as well as Kemps, and even hawksbill. So, you won't find any of the others that exist, such as that of the flatback, for example. You can only see those in, I believe, Australia. And you won't find olive ridley out here either. That's the 7th. So, you gotta admit, you know, Florida's beaches are quite diverse, you know, since they host 5 of the 7 known sea turtles in the natural world. So, alright, you guys, I think this will be a good point to wrap up this video. Thanks for watching. Journey on a Journey is outwards. Take care, folks. See ya.